Hello, everybody. Welcome to your daily pop of positivity. Hooray! Thank you, Emma, so much for this Pure Magic Oracle deck. It is pure magic. The artwork, the wording in the book, everything is so peaceful and serene. And I have to say, I get in such a good headspace just reading it. So let's start with the opening circle. I love this because this talks about, when we begin sacred rituals, the universe really acknowledges the moment that we are co-creating and blesses us with protection. We begin to understand the roles that we play in life and grow in appreciation of all of those lessons and joys that follow. For instance, yesterday I went and delivered little baby Christmas trees and chocolates and things to some of my favorite shopkeepers and helpers and just people I know work really hard, and just sharing and exchanging that moment, on the beginning of the winter solstice was so life-giving for me. It got me in the best mood. And then I realized, that gives energy. When sometimes we think, oh, if I do this and I exert this and I have to go to the store and do that, it really is life-giving energy. And I found that there was a lot of natural reciprocity, people smiling, being happy when I went into one of my favorite bakeries. Right as I was ordering, she's like, let me offer you a complimentary scone. I see you looking at them. All this generosity and benevolence and wonderfulness. And I feel like that is something that we co-create with the universe. And this also has us recognize that we need to slow down and be patient and also take a breath. I'll give you a quick example. I had some quiet music playing in the background, and it was something from YouTube. And all of a sudden they have commercial breaks that are I don't know, they just pop up. So it partially into the video, this commercial started really loudly, and I was like, just position yourself so there aren't going to be interruptions. You don't need to jump right into anything. Take your time and mark your moment with offerings of anointed anything, water, sage, onto the third eye and step and come into that power. I have every kind of sage available and imaginable, spray form, smoke, little individual leaves, and I like to work with that because I do feel like it's really cleansing. And the moment I smell it, it initiates this change in my brain. We're beginning a ritual. We are beginning a protective and clearing process. We are simplifying, right? Slowing down. Hence also the backdrop. I thought, I don't want any complicated color formats. I just want simple blues and lavenders and white, things that are restful. And I just feel like all magical beginnings require this little bit of ceremony and effort, right? Sometimes it's best to begin at a steady pace and gather your bearings before you go on to the next step. I know sometimes when I want to go cleanse and charge my crystals, I'll be grabbing everything in sight. And I'm like, all you need to do is focus on the first step, and that is gathering them. No more rushing. And just as you'd be careful in your surroundings during transport or work, we have to protect ourselves in body, mind, and spirit too. Be mindful of the company you keep and take care of whom you share your joys and sorrows. Not everyone is on the same journey or needs to be. And the human condition can mean jealousy or conflict, right? All of these things. So when we go back to ritual and remember that not everything needs to be complex. Simplicity is the key, and you're the craftsman that creates the door that leads to your chosen path. And rituals, and I just love that. Sometimes it's as simple, while we're cooking, maybe stirring a pot and saying, what's the intention you're filling with this? To feed and fuel your body beautifully, right? Things like that. Okay, so now in the closing circle, this is about pure intent, sacred door, timing, and experience. And this talks about our magical practices and being able to open and close our work, human beings that enter our life and enter our framework and different times and stages, and who is helpful and vibes with us at certain times may not further down the road as we grow and expand. Some people remain the same, and it's almost like different quadrants we enter, and then we recognize, okay. And also, but let me point this out too, don't be fearful if you were in contact with somebody. Even me, I get nervous. I have some days where I can spend a lot of time in my DMs and chatting to all my soul sisters and having a really great time. Then I'll have very hectic weeks where I don't even drop in so much as a hi or be able to read what they are saying. And, it's one of those things that we have to remember. Time is cyclical. Just because we're not, on each other's DMs or connecting or whatever it is, speaking on a daily or bi-daily basis doesn't mean that the interest care has evaporated. We all have these cycles that we can get back. So I love this. It's saying, have you made sure to close all the doors that hinder your power, right? All those crazy distractions. I know if I have too much going on around what I'm doing, I begin to like TikToks, and then I'm doing things on IG, and all of a sudden, if my bandwidth is getting spread thin through all of these different doors, that I have to pull myself back and focus. So I am enabled and I can understand what part I am trying to gain access to, right? Another thing saying, release any guilt or shame that you have been taught to believe and hold on when you have that association with need, right? Like our parents could say, that's greedy wanting that. I know a lot of people, they like certain, like maybe luxury items. They work hard for them, or regardless, they like a little bit of luxury in their life. And they might have been taught by a grandmother, oh, that's excessive. Oh, why would you need that? And then they associate these luxury goods with, it could be anything, from like a really well-crafted, beautiful Valentino handbag or pair of shoes or whatever it is. That's excessive. And if you have very philanthropic, grandparents, aunts or whatever, you could feed a homeless person with that. You know what I mean? But if we spend our whole life giving everything that we acquire away, it cuts out the beautiful reward system for our efforts. Reward yourself. I really want you to let go of any of that guilty little inkling, like, oh, you would buy that for yourself. Like when people are Christmas shopping, I'm a definitely one for you, one for me if I see something cool. I work hard for my money. I work 7 days a week a lot of the times. I love it, but I also work. And I feel like it brings in this quiet strength that says, I hold my opinions close. I don't need that of others. I don't need that of a testy old aunt or a grandmother or a sister or somebody who thinks that I'm not deserving because it's a projection of them thinking they're not deserving. That kind of close that circle. Appreciate endings and beginnings. Allow for the heart to expand into experiences. Hold memories close with wisdom and gratitude and appreciation. And take a breath to open the door to the new, or shut the door if need be, because you are the one in control, which I love that. I think that's so beautiful. So you guys, that is your daily pop. Remember, this whole season is just opening our power, our strength, our expansionness, and our understanding of where we truly want to go, not where others want us to go, where we want to go. And that's what's important. So love and light.